Hello and welcome, everybody. This is the Domain Gaming. We are, of course, coming back to you with our Mage, The Awakening, 2nd Edition Chronicle, Insten, Nergal. I believe that's how that's actually pronounced. So, we're going to go with Nyappykitty this time to go ahead and give us the recap.
Yes, so on our previous episode, we were attacked by something that looked like wolves, but they weren't exactly wolves because they had tentacles on them, and they took special interest in dog. We didn't take kindly to that, so then we started attacking it. My character, Catalina, tried to communicate with it. That didn't go very well because then they started attacking her. She got poisoned, fell to the floor. So then Igor went all Full Metal Alchemist and started turning them into copper. Yes, copper. Blah, 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 blah. So then after that, Igor super ran into town just to make sure everybody's okay. Everybody seems fine. The only one that's kind of sick is Jasmina. So then we decided to split up so we don't lose track of Torador. So Igor is on his tail, and then Kalmir and Catalina are heading to town just to double make sure that the town's okay. And yeah, that's where we left off.
So we're going to go ahead and pick up with both you, Catalina, and Kalmir. You guys make it there. The sun has fully set at this point. It is nighttime, so the vast majority of people have already retired to their homes for the evening. You can see a couple of the hearth fires still burning inside their house. If you want to go to Jasmina's house, it is a little bit on the other side of town from where you guys have entered, but it's not going to take very long for you guys to get there.
Okay.
Want to check on Jazz first?
Yeah, just to make sure she's okay. And oh, do I do it now?
I mean, you can.
Okay. So I use Mage Sight.
All right. So by activating your Mage Sight. You're a witch, so the two main arcana that you have is time and fate. As you open your magi, you can start to see time flowing through the area, and you can start seeing the threads of fate. As you look at various houses, you can see the people inside them. You can see essentially the span of their life and everything that they plan to do. And you start to notice that all of these strands are shortening. You can't really determine by what, but all their strands of fate are calling the police, apparently, are shortening. Their lives are getting shorter and shorter. Each second that you continue to move by as you get to Jasmina's house. Looking in at her house, you can already see her life is but maybe a few threads length long. By your calculation and you knowing the flow of time as you do, she's maybe got minutes left.
Okay, so then I quickly take haste and run towards her home.
Well, you're already at her house.
Oh, okay. I thought I was seeing this.
I said as you approached her house.
Oh, okay. So I bust in.
She's laying the same place that Igor saw her, in the middle of her floor with her blankets over the top of her.
Okay. So I hunch down. I'm assuming she's kind of just laying.
She's completely unresponsive to you.
Okay. Okay, I hold her up. All right, Jasmina, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Think. I'm trying to decide between just healing or purifying.
What's the difference between the two spells?
Well, if this is a sickness, then I would have to cure her. But I don't know if curing her first is going to be like, how can I say it? Like, if I cure her, is it going to have enough time? Am I going to have enough time to also heal her? Or should I heal her first and then cure her?
I think what you're confusing here is you're thinking health damage is being done rather than just sickness. It's not, there's no health, she has no wounds on her, so no health damage has been done.
Oh. Uh-oh. Then in that case, I just cure her?
I would need you to go ahead and give me your life arcanum plus your gnosis roll and any yantras that you want to use. High speech being worth 2 bonus die. Your cup would definitely be worth using, so that would be 3 bonus die.
Okay, so then if I use my yantra, my cup, I take out my cup, and
And what level is that spell? Is that a level 2, level 3?
hold on, I have to pull it up. For some reason, I had Promethean pulled up. It's not helpful right now.
You have 3 dots in life, so I believe it is a second dot.
Purge illness, life 2.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so that is, so you get 2 free reaches. I'm assuming you want to instacast.
Yeah.
Is there any other reaches that you want to apply?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So with that,
So how many dice is that?
if you want to plug it into the calculator thing,
Mm-hmm.
so you apply how many reaches you're going to use. You have 2 free reaches. Plug in your Gnosis, your Arcanum, any deductions that you want to take, and then your Yantra bonus, which is how many dice you're getting, which you're using your Cup and your High Speech, which is a total of 3. And then that'll bring it up so we can look at it and help you with it. That's the macro that says Spell Macro.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I have 1 reach.
Yep. 2 free reaches.
2 free.
Whatever.
And Gnosis is 3. How many dots do you have in Primary Arcanum?
That would be 3.
Oh, I don't even know where that is.
The primary Arcanum here would be life.
Oh, okay. Well, they should just say. Okay, never mind. I'm not getting into
Arcana.
this.
Big
So
bold in the middle of the page.
Yeah, it says health. It doesn't say Primary Arcanum.
When it says primary Arcanum, it's just because it doesn't know what Arcanum you're casting from, so it needs you to look at your Arcana and be like, oh, I'm casting from life, so here's my life.
No, 1 yantra.
You're using 2 yantras, a high speech and your 1, so you get 3 dice. So that's going to be 9 dice total.
Okay. And my dice. Calculate dice pool. Okay.
2 successes is enough to go off. You feel reality try to kick back, but you're able to push through it and resist the paradox. You felt the paradox come, but you were able to avoid it. As you weave your magic around her, you see her fate strands getting a little longer, but not by much. Unfortunately, it seems like whatever was cutting her life strand short, the damage has already been done to an extent. She may live a couple of more hours than she would have if this thing would have kept eating at her, but she will still probably be gone by morning. She is still completely asleep, unconscious, just completely unresponsive to you.
I get up slowly. I give Kalmir a very concerned look.
Well, what happened?
Whatever this is, it's very strong. She's not gonna make it. I gave her a few hours, if that. But most likely she'll be dead by morning.
As you look up at Kalmir, you see the fates of everybody else slowly dwindling as well. Just like hers was dwindling before you cast your magic upon her.
So is there anything we can do to help the rest of these people?
At this point, we would only be giving them mere hours. But there's really no hope. Whatever ailment, disease, curse, whatever it is, it works too fast, too strong. But I'm not sure who or what could have caused it.
I think we have a fair idea of who. At least a strong suspicion.
Perhaps. So he said that his village encountered the same. He was just lucky enough to survive it.
And then he probably brought it here.
Hmm. Or he was trying to give us a fair warning.
But why would he lie? He was lying.
Hmm. There's still too many questions unanswered. For now, we know that there is really nothing we can do at this point for this village. It's done. The damage is done. All we can really do is seek out Tordor. That's all we can do at this point. And need be, torture him for answers.
The night wanes on. Are you guys going to rest here, or are you guys going to head back to camp before you, back to where Igor was camped?
If there's anyone else you wish to say goodbye to, now would be the time. Pack up, prepare for the next morning. I'd like to stay with Jasmina on her final breaths. And I lay next to Jasmina.
Kalmir?
All right, so Kalmir's gonna leave the hut. He's gonna go to his home and gather supplies and stuff. He wasn't really close to anyone specific in the village. Just more of he liked the village as a whole. So there's no one specific he wants to visit. Just kind of gather supplies, look around at what soon will not be, and head out to where Igor last was.
All right.
Come on, dog.
Then
There's nothing else for us here.
your dog kind of whines and follows you out as you make your way back to Igor and Tordor's old camp. When you get there, you can see that Igor has kind of bunkered down for the night. His copper golems stand at the ready, watching the area. Igor, are you still awake at this point?
Depends how resting in this system works. Do I need to be asleep or just like resting? Because
It doesn't matter in this scenario. If you want to be awake, then
probably awake plotting.
all right.
So you would see me coming with a torch.
Yes.
Igor, are you still up?
Aye. How is how's everyone?
We were too late. Catalina says everything's gonna be dead in a couple hours at most. It's like no sickness or disease she's ever come across, and she even tried fixing Jasmina, and that only bought her an hour, maybe two. She's still dying.
She could fix herself, but not the rest. Then,
I mean, when she fixed herself, she did it pretty quickly. Like as soon as it happened, she cast her spell. So maybe the longer this thing eats at a person, the less chance they have. Like it's eating their life force.
whatever it may be, the path in front of us is still clear, I believe.
Oh yeah, we're gonna find Tordor and have some choice words at best.
Words? How do you speak throwing a rock? But I have a plan to track him down.
Oh, what's your plan?
He has gone north. However, he's on foot, and he has no idea that we're chasing him. Probably. So he shouldn't be, running. However, trying to find him in the woods is going to be difficult. So, my proposition: we quickly create like a shit ton of golems in the shape of birds. We have them scout, for villages, for abandoned villages, for him too. And if they find an abandoned village, we go towards it, because that's probably where he's going. Presuming the other northern villages aren't also already dead. But, That or we just go north. Like, we're trying to follow the trail, which I presume could identify, at least from the camp. But once it gets into the trees, it'll probably be more difficult.
Well, I mean, Dog's nose is pretty good, and Catalina, she's a fair hunter. I think we'd have a fair chance of finding his trail through the forest, even.
Yes, but we need to catch up to him, not just track him.
That's true.
To know where he's going. so we can cut him off. But then again, he's just going on a straight shot. That won't work either.
Well,
By the way,
assuming we catch up to him, what's gonna stop him from just teleporting away?
nothing.
As you guys continue to discuss, just a quick question to Catalina. Are you spending the entire night there, or are you just resting until Jasmina dies?
Pretty much until she dies.
All right. So we're gonna shift focus here a little bit. Catalina, you are laying there on the floor next to Jasmina. Feels maybe like 4 hours. And that's when you hear the last breath leave her lips, and there's no other intake of air.
You know, Jasmina, I was so sad when I left the town. And it wasn't the people that I was going to miss. It wasn't the huts. It wasn't the land. I was going to miss you. Growing up with these abilities was always felt more like a curse than a blessing. But you were always more than just a friend, but my only family. Wherever you have departed, you're always so good with the land. While other women bear children, you bear fruit. So wherever you are now, I know you are just bearing fruit. Goodbye, dear friend. Okay, I get up, I make my way out, and I look for Boris.
Boris is tied up where you left him at Igor's hut.
Okay, make my way over.
He's kind of laying down. He hears you coming and looks up and gives you a soft, yeah.
Hey, Boris. Yeah, well, buddy, it's time for us to go. We're gonna be heading out soon. I have a feeling this next adventure of ours, it might be. I hope it won't be our last, but always best to prepare for the worst, but hope for the best. Where's our friends?
He kind of stands up.
Okay, I hop on him and look around. Where is... Oh, this town is now very eerie. Because I'm assuming I see everybody's life just being snuffed.
At this, your mage sight would have turned off since we've switched scenes. So, I mean, if you want to activate it again, but you wouldn't really need to do that to know what you would see.
I can assume that Catalina at least senses it. I'll just state that, I sense, the lack of energy. Oh, but yes, where are our friends, Igor and Kalmir?
I mean, the best place you would know to look is back where you had left Igor originally, which was where Tordor had made his little makeshift camp. It's still nighttime. Morning should be coming fairly soon, so unless they trucked out in the middle of the night, which you don't think they did, they will still be there.
Okay. Outside. So it's outside town.
Yes.
Okay. I wouldn't think. I just grabbed the usual traveling kits, I guess you can call it that. Water, food, rope.
From Igor's hut.
Yeah. I'm sure he won't mind that I take some of this. He's gonna thank me later.
Just being robbed. Can't believe this.
Let's see, some rope. That's useful. Cantina. Useful. I think that's it. Yeah, for now. Okay, so I pack up. I get on Boris. Are there any other horses or donkeys in the area?
There's obviously the draft animals, so there are a few donkeys there. There's a couple of oxen-like creature. They're called Aarks. I may be mispronouncing that, honestly. Gigantic wild cow, essentially.
I don't.
Not wild, but.
Okay. I want to try using. What's that spell?
Beast tongue or whatever.
Yeah, to talk to the donkeys.
All right. You find you get to the enclosure that has a few of them tied up. So go ahead and give me the Gnosis plus Arcanum roll.
Gnosis 3, and then Arcana, which is crap.
Life.
Is it under life? Okay.
So that would be 3 and 3 again. And if you want your free reach, obviously would be Instacast.
Okay. 7. 3 successes.
All right. What exactly are you saying to the donkeys?
Friends, your people, unfortunately, will not be here anymore.
I think she just shorted out.
She just roboted out.
Wait.
Okay.
Sorry. Am I
hear
back?
You're back.
Okay. Sorry, my computer glitched.
We heard your people aren't, and then robot.
Oh, sorry. Your people aren't here to feed and sustain you, I'm afraid. But fear not. I have 2 good people that will take good care of you. In exchange, I'm hoping that you can aid us with some of your assistance.
2 out of the 6 or 7 donkeys kind of step forward as if offering themselves, while the others kind of meander about, looking at each other, afraid, with their ears, hanging a little bit lower than usual.
I hop off and I give them both vegetable offerings, I guess. Just my token of thank you, and kind of rub them a little like on the head. Okay.
They eat happily from your hand.
All right. So I grab their, I put on saddles on each of them.
You wouldn't really have a saddle at this point.
Okay. So just
Everything.
reins then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rope.
So I grab them by the reins, kind of lead them towards Boris, and we'll make our way out to Igor and Kalmir's camp.
By the time you reach it, the sun has started to peak above the horizon. Still relatively dark in the woods, but you can see that Igor and Kalmir and Dog have been resting asleep this time. As you approach the camp, though, the trotting of hooves, of course, wakes them up. The donkeys begin to have a fit once they see Dog, however, making quite a racket.
It's okay. Dog, he's part of the pack. It's good.
What? Dog, what are you barking at?
Yeah, I need you to control Dog.
Oh, he's fine. He knows not to attack, livestock.
Well, these.
Mostly while I'm here.
Well, the town is dead. I got us these 2 donkeys. I figured they'd be faster and less tiring for us.
Okay.
I hope you know how to ride a donkey.
I mean, I can sit on one and let it go.
You know what? Good enough. Where's Igor? Is he awake yet?
I don't know.
I'm assuming I can see him, right? Like,
Yes, you can see him. He's there.
I go over and I poke him with a stick. Igor.
I'm plotting.
Igor. That's your plotting face? You look like you're sleeping.
Well, you can't let the enemies know you're plotting.
I hunch over. I took some of your rope.
What? You gonna pay for that?
It's
We haven't
borrowing.
invented money yet. Sorry, never mind.
It would be a trade, I guess.
I figured you'd want to use it to tie up Tordor when we find him. I'm assuming Kalmir. I'm assuming
to tie up a corpse.
Oh, okay, with that being said, I'm assuming Kalmir told you the status of our town.
Unfortunately, yeah. I am all too aware that, well, this is why we don't trust outsiders.
Sadly, you are right, my friend. So, we are on track with finding Tordor. We know where he's headed, correct?
We have a clear direction of where he's headed. Presumably. Unless maybe he's going a different direction to go kill another village.
Well, we better find him before he kills another village. Because if not, we're going to be out of village options for us to go to.
Yeah. Well, then I suppose there's no time like the present. Let's get walking.
Yeah.
I don't have a better plan now that I think about it.
So I put out the fire. I'm assuming they started, because that's usually what you do when you set up a camp with a fire.
The little bit of smoldering embers that are left, yes.
Okay. All right, so I got you guys some donkeys. They're good.
How are we supposed to track from atop a donkey?
With Dog.
We have Dog. We have
Does
other ways of tracking. And
the scent would have faded by now.
how exactly are you tracking?
Follow tracks.
Right, you can follow tracks from sitting on a donkey.
It's harder.
Unless you want to put your face to the dirt.
Down.
Most tracks, you can still see them from atop of donkeys, though. I've done it.
Well, if he's walking through mud, yeah, maybe, but we'll figure it out on the way there. Do we? Yeah. I guess it's a like a survival roll or something or other to actually find said tracks.
Yes. Also, if you, Kalmir, I would also want you to roll for dog's tracking ability, please.
Alrighty, let me find.
But yes, it would be your wits plus survival. And if you have any proficiency, such as hunting, that would make sense.
Yeah, trapping isn't exactly tracking.
So if you guys could give me those rolls for...
To track?
So it's with survival, you said?
Yes. So we got one success.
Survival. Can I use my hunting thing?
Yes.
Okay. So wits for me is...
Well,
wow.
that was for me.
That was for you. Okay, I was like, is that you or your dog?
Let's see. So dog, survival 4, wits 4, so it's 8.
Yeah, I was going to say, he should have a pretty high pool.
For hunting, does that add a point?
Yes, that adds a die.
Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6. 2. Pooter leads the way.
Yeah,
This
especially
way, you guys.
Kalmir finds the trail and just kicks that donkey into high gear and shouts, is just shouting and waving as he takes off.
Found it, you guys. Let's go.
Okay, come on, Boris.
Also, since you got an exceptional success there, go ahead and take the condition inspired for tracking.
All right.
Cool. Really? His path is not crazy. He's not weaving in and out. His path is very straight. The only time that you have a bit of trouble is when he crosses one of the rivers. But luckily, thanks to Pooter's exceptional success there, I won't make you guys actually re-roll to pick up his trail again. It takes you the entire day, even riding into the night. But that's when, roughly a little bit past midnight, you come to a hill. As you crest the top of the hill, you look down and you can see what looks to be like the outlines of buildings. And in the center of that area, there's one building that has the warm glow of a fire in it. As you guys approach the village, coming down the hill, I need you all to roll me a stamina. No, not stamina. Let's just do we'll do a composure plus stamina check.
Okay.
Composure.
Hey. Kalmir gets 3 successes.
5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got 3 too.
All right.
You can stop this crusade with something as simple as tiredness.
Oh no, this is not tiredness.
Magical tiredness cannot stop my vengeance.
This is the smell of what seems to be at least 20 to 30 human corpses wafting into the air.
Oh.
Oof.
As you guys meet the first line of buildings, you see a maggot-ridden body. Flies are still buzzing around it even at this time of night. As you look at the body, you can see huge, oozing, pus-like or swollen segments of the flesh just oozing this clearish yellow liquid.
Ew.
There's absolutely no respect for the dead here.
Did we walk into? Oh, I
Not
wouldn't even call.
surprised, considering who I believe we found.
Mm.
Yet. I'm going towards that fire, and I'm bringing my wolves with me.
As you approach that building, somebody just had a car accident. Sorry. As you approach that, your peripheral mage sight starts to fire off. You can't exactly tell what's going on, but there's definitely magic around that building. And when I mean magic, I mean the strongest you have ever felt in your entire life.
I guess I'll stop and kind of like focus with active mage sight. I don't think there's any death or matter here, however. I doubt
Oh, there's
it,
a lot
but-
of death.
Well, okay, yeah.
There's plenty of death.
Yeah, there's plenty of death.
Strong death.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of ghosts around.
Yes, there actually are.
Yeah, that's not good. Probably.
And these ghosts look like they're corpses. So it looks like that whatever these pustulant things are on the bodies that you see every so often seem to affect their ghosts as well.
Wait, so we see a ghost?
Yeah,
Oh,
Igor.
okay.
Yeah, Igor
Yeah.
sees the ghosts.
I'm gonna kind of like hand motion, like wave down the other two, kind of like hold up. There's something I miss.
You can see Igor kind of waving like, whoa, something's going on.
I crouch. Sneak up.
As
Your
you,
one dice of stealth.
I'm not actually going to require a stealth roll here. As you kind of sneak up to Igor, you can very well sense that he is using his mage sight.
I will also use mine.
Now, you have prime and forces.
Mhm.
Let's see, forces. You can tell that the fire inside of this building is probably hotter than you have ever seen any fire be able to get before.
Oh.
However, prime is of much more interest, as you can see the magic swirling around this hut. You can't really tell what it's doing, but you can tell this is a natural feature of the world, and this house was probably built around it.
Whew. Sweet mother of storms, that is something to see. I've never seen this kind of swirling magic. Like it's natural. They built this village around it. I've never heard of this.
They had untapped magical reserves here, and they still succumbed to this plague.
Hmm.
Well, it is logical to assume that their wise here were garbage. Again, our village is also dead, but we're
How-
fixing.
How long ago did this village die?
I know stuff about bodies. How long have these corpses been here?
Well, luckily, it seems like from your calculations, this matches up with what the timeline Tordor gave you.
Man, I don't think he was lying about his village dying. Why he returned here? Well, is he here? Like, I guess we should probably look for him, should we not? Or we're just gonna like whisper outside this hut?
I'm gonna circle around the hut and to the door and peek inside.
As you peek inside, it is fairly reminiscent of Igor's hut. It's very much the house of a craftsman. In the corner is this very large clay dome that is connected to what looks to be like a pillar coming out of the roof, which this fire is sitting in this dome shape, just absolutely roaring. There's no way that this fire has not been tended to within a couple of hours at the very least. You can see various tools laying around, stone hammers, a couple of obsidian blades. And if you want to go ahead and roll me a knowledge plus, we'll go investigation here. Or so, intelligence plus investigation.
Oh, well, that's not good. That's gonna be a chance die.
Ooh.
I'll just /roll 1d10, I guess. Oh, come on.
Aw.
That's a dramatic failure.
I don't really know how you can dramatically fail this. So
I don't know. Give me
You had a
something
brain fart.
completely wrong, and I will believe it.
You're very, very convinced that these are arcane implements and that obviously they were sacrificing things to keep this fire going. Even though your prime doesn't necessarily back up that thought process, you're convinced that something is blocking your prime sight from being able to see this fire monster that lives in this furnace.
I wave Igor over. Hey, I think this is where they did like sacrifices and stuff, because I've never seen a fire like that before. It's like there's a fire spirit in there or something.
I'll poke my head in. Do I
Look at
see
look at
a
all
fire element?
those ceremonial daggers in there.
Okay, for you, Tordor, because of your, not Tordor.
Where's
Igor.
Tordor?
He was playing the long game. I was him all along.
Sorry, Igor. Because you are a craftsman by nature, I'm gonna actually allow you to roll intelligence plus crafts.
And investigation too. Do that as well because it's more.
And you can actually, if you want to use your investigation, you can. You can also, as stated, use your craftsmanship plus your metallurgy specialty.
So specialty that would modify the dice. Sorry, how again?
You get a bonus die for the crafts check.
Okay. So I think this is modified by professional training, but I can't be bothered to look it up because I can't remember.
It's too much in it.
Professional training is insane. It's just obscene.
But
Yeah.
hold on, maybe I should get the. I still would. Professional training wouldn't help because even if it was 8 again.
Isn't it rote?
No, wait.
If it's rote, then you re-roll every failure again. Let me double check professional training.
Yeah, I need. Let me open the merits.
Otherwise, you believe me.
Oh no.
All your senses left you apparently. If you don't have the rote ability or we're missing something.
Before rolling, I'd have to spend a willpower point to apply rote. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Let's see here. Networking, that doesn't mean anything. You get the 9 again equality. No.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, no. You are convinced of the exact same thing. Just because you don't have, that's what he's telling you.
and you can't refute it.
Yeah, you can't really refute it. I mean, you're still skeptical. You're not really convinced, but
it's possible, but
you don't have a better argument.
Why don't they do sacrifices in a dingy hut like this? I don't were they that terrible of wise? I don't. Is there anyone in there? Like, is Todor in there just kind of looking at us?
No, there is nobody in there. That much you can be certain of. Catalina, do you want to
save us?
Sure. I'm so sorry. For the audience, can you re-describe our area and what exactly I'm looking at?
So, the boys, I'm going to refer to them as the boys right now, are looking into this long house that's in the center of town. All around you are empty, deserted buildings. There's a couple of dead, bloated bodies around. They are looking into the door of this longhouse, and they're seeing a furnace with a raging fire. And then there's tables laid out with various instruments laying out on them that they are convinced are used for arcane purposes, and that they're sacrificing things to the flame spirit that's inside this furnace.
Okay. I walk over. What are you guys looking at?
I'm looking at their sacrificial altar to keep that fire spirit appeased.
Please roll me an intelligence plus crafts or investigation.
Fire spirit. Okay. Intelligence plus
Investigation or crafts.
I didn't
allow
make that choice.
I think crafts would be better for me. Okay.
It's more fun this way.
Well, let's see if I fall for it too.
Join us.
The fire spirit. I got 2 successes.
Doesn't it make sense?
You look at it and you realize that these are instruments I keep doing that. Igor has in his own hut. You can tell also by the flat piece that there is a flat, shiny, reddish, yellowish piece of material laying on the desk or on one of the tables that's the same type of material Igor has been working on. You realize that this is essentially what Igor's been trying to do all along.
Okay, close. I think you were onto something, Kalmir, but just a thought. I don't think they're sacrificing to the flame spirit. It looks more like what that rock looks kind of like the one Igor was heating up and bashing. Igor, take a second look. It looks like you're Looks like your shiny rock.
Upon her stating that, things start to make a little bit more sense for you, Igor. You
Mhm.
start to believe her a lot more than you do Kalmir.
Like,
Igor, you've been making sacrifices in your hut like this guy?
you see, my path doesn't. We don't believe in spirits, so therefore it can't be a fire spirit. I can't see them, so it doesn't exist. Uh,
Okay.
it's like, So, well, turns out they were terrible mages, but they were much better smiths than myself.
Yeah, it looks kind of like what you were trying to do.
I-
Only a
None
bit
if they-
more successful.
I would have been here yesterday if they didn't come and kill the village off. I blame Pooter for my lack of success.
Somebody needs to take blame for your failure.
There have been no failures, only
Lack of
successes
success.
successes that have not led to more success.
Mm,
Individual successes, not multiple successes.
okay.
It's a success to know that he was going in the wrong direction.
And we're outside of this hut, right?
Yes, you're sticking your head in. I mean, if you, it is
Okay.
perfectly available for you guys to go ahead and walk in.
Oh yeah. Well, I walk in. More towards the shiny rocks.
You can see that this person or whoever worked here has taken one of these stone hammers and was able to bash the shiny rock into a thin sheet. But that seems to be about as far as they've gotten with it.
Hmm.
Igor and Kalmir, do you want to enter as well?
Sure. I'm also going to be looking at you said like there was swirling magic or something?
Yes, and you can see in the center of the room, that's kind of where all the magic coalesces.
Into the big furnace thing.
Not in the furnace.
Oh.
The furnace is actually against the back wall. In the center of the building is actually completely empty with your prime mage sight, you can just see the magical energy swirling about.
Mm. There's something right here in the middle. I'm gonna need to look at this a bit more. Can I study it more?
If you want to scrutinize it, you can. That is an extended action, so you will be pretty much tied up doing it.
Well, is there any other signs of Tordor around?
No.
Like, where did its tracks go? Like, in here?
To the best of your knowledge, this is where Dog has guided you. Dog has actually not came in. He refuses to come in there.
Dog, what's wrong? Come here.
He sits outside the door and stares at you. Igor, have you?
So, I'm not going in quite yet because I'm more concerned about other things.
Okay.
The bodies in this village, are they kind of like just spread out all over the place, or are they kind of like grouped up, or?
They're not grouped up. It doesn't look like. It looks like they died where they stood, so to speak.
Okay, well.
So they were trying to do stuff while possibly, sick, and then the sickness took them. Whatever these pustulent sicknesses are.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna quickly find like a plank of wood or something, or like a good branch or something, and I'm gonna catch it on fire with their forge, and I'm gonna go burn the bodies, give them a burial, because it'll take too long to bury each one individually, and well, the ghosts are probably angry, so they're not my people, but I gotta deal with them.
As you go about performing your small funeral rite, it doesn't seem to do anything to the ghosts currently in the area. They still are shambling about, in their materialized form. It doesn't seem to have changed much of anything by the time you have finished, other than you have done what you feel like is necessary for the dead.
It is a crude rites, but it is funeral rites nonetheless.